All right, here we go. It's a big day, big announcement coming today. I've been teasing this for the last week and a half. The big announcement is coming,
Big
Dan.
announcement.
Yep. Oh, let's
Hello.
shut down my
Hello.
monitor there too. Big announcement coming today. Plus regular programming. We've got 2 live games that are going on right now that when we come back after our intro, we're going to tell you to turn us off and go turn on those live games. We've got our softball and baseball rankings that VIP members have had for days now, but we'll let you in on that. We'll also take you through our weekly schedule.
It's all here, and it's all now.
All right, well let's go, Dan. People have been waiting long enough. This is it's a big day here at Zaleski Sports. We are 1 week from, I've been saying changing the way that people in central Wisconsin will consume high school sports. So maybe.
Yeah.
Adding to it for sure, and adding to it in a big way. Go ahead and hold it up, Dan.
Oh.
There we go. Yeah. That's right.
Look at this.
Yep, Zaleski Sports headlines. Weekly, full color, and it's big.
Yeah.
Full color, big magazine, and all featuring your favorite Central Wisconsin student athletes. We got full page spreads in there, some useful information like our broadcast schedule. We've got
standings.
our standings, and of course write-ups about your favorite teams and players. It's all in there, and I've been telling people, Dan, for the last week and a half. I gave them
great. Smells great.
Yeah, the hint it smells like glossy paper.
It does.
With ink, with fresh toner on it.
Yeah.
But I was telling people last night. I think if I was trying to give some clues and some hints. Most people probably figured it out by now. But I said it was big, colorful, and shiny. That is big, colorful, and shiny.
It is. It looks really good. It looks better than magazines, honestly.
Okay.
Right? It looks.
I like what you're saying.
No, it looks high. It feels higher quality.
It is high quality.
Yeah.
It is. We want things around here to be nice and look nice, and we think it is. We think you're really going to enjoy it. You'll be able to pick up this magazine at Marshfield area retail locations beginning next week, Wednesday night. So they hit the newsstands around 7 p.m. on Wednesday, and then some kind of filter in Thursday mornings. All 3 Marshfield Weiler gas stations will have this magazine right on the front counter when you walk in. Other retail locations around the Marshfield and surrounding areas: Stratford, Spencer, Neilsville, Greenwood, Loyal, Auburndale. You get it all at the Hewitt. Even let you pick up a stack at Draxler's and Hewitt, as a matter of fact. But weekly, it's free. Maybe you can all see that at home. Free. So all you need to do is just pay a visit to our supporting retailers, and a full list of those retail spots will become available starting on Monday. We'll start to, we got to advertise this thing. So we'll tell you. But I dropped a few there. But for Marshfield folks, all 3 Weiler's gas stations, that's where you pick it up in Marshfield. And then all the surrounding communities have it as well.
Yeah, we've talked a little bit about what are we missing, right? And, I mean, we both are at the age where we grew up looking at baseball box scores, and there wasn't the internet, right? So you looked at newspapers to figure out who won games the day before, for example.
Yep, that's what I did.
And that's not what this is.
Right.
But a lot of the articles are written that way, right?
Yeah.
There is no place for student athletes in the area today to get 3 paragraphs about a game that would usually be in newspapers. It doesn't exist today.
Right.
So I'm just looking at this, and we have kids' names. Caitlin Sternweiss.
Yeah. Caitlin's pitching right now, as a matter of fact. But yes, in the magazine. Oh yeah, all the names are in there.
Lillian Greisbach.
Yep. Griesbach. Yep.
Griesbach. Kyla Pugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. Dalton Post. Emma Neiman. So family,
pictures
friends.
Of the kids.
Pictures
of the kids. It's awesome.
Crazy talk, isn't it?
It's
a couple of Auburndale kids there. Auburndale in the magazine.
Lots of track and field in this particular one.
Yeah.
Standings. Yeah, this is really good.
Yep. Standings, golf results, track results.
Yeah.
And it's, prep sports only.
Yes.
Prep sports only. 12 pages of it. 12 pages. Free. Free. All you got to do is go to our participating retailers to pick it up. That's all you got to do.
And maybe visit some of our sponsors.
That would be the best idea.
Yeah.
That would be the best idea. I suppose now is as good a time as any. Do you mind if I read through?
Yeah.
Who's making sure that you all
Absolutely.
get to get this for free every Wednesday night and Thursday morning? JBC Screen Printing, Poor Choices, Bakerville Bar and Grill, Grassland Butter, V&H Automotive, Rigel Plumbing, Weiler Convenience Stores, McDonald's of Marshfield, Buccaneer, Supper Club, Krabby's, DZ Dumpsters, EML, Bowling Alley in Roseville, North Central Technical College, Eagle Tire Center, Team and Realty, R&R Furniture, Columbus Catholic, West Side Auto Body, Midstate Technical College, and of course us here at Zaleski Sports.
Yeah, I really think of this being kind of an outreach arm of the sponsors themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Obviously, the sponsors pay for parts of this,
Yep.
like their advertisement or whatever.
Yep.
But I know for a fact that the sponsors that you just read really care about prep
Yes.
sports.
Yeah, they believe in this.
Yeah.
Right? More than the advertising. They believe that this is what should happen. And we're making it happen. Big announcement.
Yeah. So I see Cloverbelt, I see Marywood, I see Wausau.
Yep,
Valley.
you'll get Wisconsin Valley.
Valley.
Yep, those are the three conferences that you'll have
Love it.
full baseball and softball standings for the spring. Again, golf meets, track meets. Those results will be kind of sprinkled in here and there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be great. It is great.
Yeah. Nobody here can see it, right? Because I just saw it
Yeah.
5 minutes before
Yeah.
we went on the air.
Yeah.
It's really nice. High quality, sturdy. Mm-hmm. It's good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys did well.
Yeah. Yep. We should thank our contributors here, right? The people that are doing the work. Our editor is Mike Wendlandt. Our designer, Trevor Zaleski. Our writer is Paul Lecker. Advertising, John Albrecht. So that's everybody there is putting in the sweat, the blood, the sweat, and the tears, as they say, to put it all together. And big day tomorrow. We start kind of fitting the pieces in. The puzzle pieces start kind of showing up on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then over the next few days, some puzzle pieces stay and some get tossed out. But they're it's a fun time. It's a great time to be alive.
It gives you guys something to do.
That's what we need,
Not
right?
busy enough.
We got nothing else going on around here.
I saw the weekly schedule come out.
Yeah.
And it's an Excel sheet with like 80 rows
Yeah.
of 4 workers at each game.
It's wildness,
absolutely
isn't it?
insane.
It's wildness.
I'm so glad my name's not on it.
Yeah. Just rows and rows and rows.
So many.
Rows and rows and rows. And then, this time of year, we also get to deal with the reschedules and those things too. So there you go. Zaleski Sports Headlines, weekly magazine, free. And you'll find those at our participating retailers in Marshfield, Neelsville, Greenwood, Loyal, Spencer, Auburndale, and Hewitt. This is our starting point, so people out there are like, oh man, I live in Wausau. This is our starting point. We got to launch it somewhere. And so what we need from you, if you want this in communities that I didn't name, you send us an email or get a hold of us at any of our social media pages. And honestly, these days, the best way to get a hold of us is at zaleskisports.com. Just click Contact Us. You just tell us who you are and what you want. What we need to know is, I read through those list of sponsors, you tell us, yep, I'm the sponsor, I'm the business owner, and I want this in my community. And that's our next step. So that's how it works.
Do you take contributions from the outside for photos and stuff, or is this all internal?
Yeah, most of our photos come in as submissions. People are sending the pictures in to us because they like to have these, like us, like to have these student athletes recognized.
Yeah.
We do capture a fair amount of these pictures, but a great way is to send those in too.
Yeah, and you get credit for it.
Yeah, your name. So that's a great point, Dan, right?
Yeah.
So let's say Dan, by the way, Jason here, Dan's there. If Dan Ross, if you sent in a picture, you get your name in the magazine because it says photo by Dan Ross. So send them in, and we give you credit for the whole thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Get your name in the magazine.
This is really cool. It really is.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
I know we've got some some nervous times here, making sure this is done right and we're doing the right thing.
Well, I know you guys invested in this.
Yeah.
Right? With printers.
There is a huge machine on the other side of this wall that prints these magazines.
New office. You got a new office for this kind.
Yep. New. We're sitting in the brand new studio here.
Yeah.
Yet to be named, but for now it's our studio. Yeah, there you go. So that's the big. I hope it lived up to the hype, the folks out there. I hope so.
Well, I think if people had it in their hands, they would appreciate it more than us talking about it. Probably.
Well, they're going to have it in their hands in a little more than a week and a couple hours, and we will update you all next Wednesday because we will be here shortly after that machine shuts off, and we'll hold up the first actual edition. This was our dry run. It's actually edition zero, right? So edition 1, Dan and I will hold that up for you next week, and we'll tell you where to get it. And again, you'll find information on our social media pages starting on Monday on where to pick these up.
Thomas Cashmere won the 1600 436.
See, and just think,
faster than I've ever ran.
And just think, if you want to wager somebody a candy bar and this information, and you're the magazine holder, you go into work the next day, you're going to bring home a whole box of candy bars because this is where you're going to find the information.
Yeah.
And if your coworker doesn't know that, you're going to win all the bets.
It's true.
Yeah, or you're at least going to be the expert in the room for that moment in time.
436 is pretty quick for the 1600.
Yeah.
Back in 1996, when I ran
That's a mile,
the
right?
1600, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think my fastest was 440.
Okay.
436 is quick.
Yeah. It's a mile or thereabouts. So it's a little different.
It's a little more than
different measuring system.
It's a metric mile or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not European. I don't know anything about it.
It's 4 laps.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. There are likely some people wondering about my shirt. I got my Pittsville shirt on.
You're a Panther today.
Yep, I am a Panther today. They're probably wondering, though, why it's blue instead of purple, right? So, first, a little bit of a backstory. So, over the years, I wore all kinds of team-issued shirts on this show.
It's true.
And every time somebody asks me, or why don't you wear ours, my answer is, because I was given the shirt.
Yeah.
And to this point, I've been given any shirt you've seen me wear that's a high school shirt, it's been given to me. Right, or a hat or something else, and I will take the shirts, right? And I'll wear them once, at least once. I'll wear them on camera because it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing it. This shirt I purchased. So people that may not know this story, a couple of Saturdays ago, Lucy Vanetta, who was a junior at Pittsville High School, was on her way in her vehicle on that Saturday afternoon, and unfortunately died on her journey that day in the car crash. And so a week and a half later, so I guess this was now 2 Mondays ago, the softball team had their first game after Lucy's very untimely death. And of course the whole game was dedicated to the memory of Lucy Vanetta. And so they had shirts available for purchase. And so made sure that we picked up a few. So this is my number 5 Lucy Vanetta shirt. Yep.
Like it.
All the team, the kids are on the back. Maybe at the end of the show, if you remind me, I'll turn around and show everybody the back of the shirt. But yeah, that's so. And her favorite color was this blue. So that's they went with blue for that. So had a great time at the softball game. Pittsville won, and that makes some sense, right? I mean, we're there to memorialize a former teammate. There was no other result but them winning, and they did that day. They beat the Port Edwards Blackhawks. We are back in Pittsville on Friday. Another commemorative game on Friday, but this time a brighter atmosphere as they are lighting the lights at the pit in Pittsville. The first time in school history the baseball diamond has lights, and the lights will be turned on for a 7:30 start on Friday, and you'll get to watch that game right here at Zaleski Sports. How about that, Dan? Lights!
Do you think there's some nervousness, like, I hope it's bright enough?
I hope they've tested them. Tonight would be a great night, Coach Rayburn and the Panthers, to test those lights.
They're probably practicing under the lights already.
Well, that's the other thing, too. I mean, especially on the smaller school, the big schools get to play under lights fairly often. Yeah. Not always, but fairly often. Schools with less than 1,000 kids in them very rarely play under the lights. And so it's fun. These kids, Pittsville, unless they played, in a different city during the summer for like a Legion or some sort of all-star team, first time under the lights. So that's another good idea too, to practice once with the lights on.
You can see the ball better, I think.
Yeah.
At night.
Well, it's got that sheen to it. It's got a shine, a little reflection on it as well, and you can see the ball's got some rotation. You can see that red spin a little better too under the lights.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's what's coming up in Pittsville on Friday. That'll be fun. Mike Wendland will be on the call on Friday.
I like it. Did some research today,
Oh, come on now.
as I usually do on Wednesdays.
Come on now. Okay. What'd you find out?
Coaches meetings still.
Yeah, for softball and baseball.
Yeah.
And soccer.
Don't know how much I love that.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. And coaches, they talk to me from time to time, and they're already posturing for
Of course.
for slots, right? It's there's no pureness to the quality of your team. It's all these backroom dealings to
I want
get
to
a
be
seed.
on the opposite side of the bracket than this team.
It's ridiculousness. is
Even
what
if
it
we're a
is.
lower seed, I'd rather be a worse seed
Yeah.
and avoid the 1 seed.
Yeah. Well, baseball and softball, they've got a history of trickery in these sports, right? Hidden balls and rounding third base and, fake moves to first. And so I suppose that carries over into the posturing and the backroom dealings of a seed meeting.
I would rather be a 6 or 7 than a 5.
Doesn't make,
Yeah, I know. I've been there.
It's not pure.
I've been in the meetings.
It's not
this
pure.
Happens.
And, well, anyway, so I'm glad you brought that up. Because, Dan, in 2 weeks and I guess 24 hours, so we'll just call it 15 days because that's what it is, softball playoffs begin.
Yeah, the coaches meeting's a week from today.
Yeah, they kind of scatter them out, and just talking to a baseball coach on Monday, gosh, baseball is just such a bunch of tricksters in the baseball. But they don't know when their meeting is. It could be Sunday or it could be Wednesday. They haven't decided yet. Well, how in the world don't you know? Because it's all about tricks. That's why, right? Because who have I played? And if I could stall this for a couple days.
That's true.
It's tricks. It's just all tricks with these guys, gals, all of them.
If you have a really difficult opponent, have it beforehand so it doesn't affect you.
So softball playoffs start in 16 days. Baseball playoffs start in 23 days.
Yeah, we talked about this
on.
last week a little bit, that, I am more okay with this than computer seeding only because there's some teams that have played double the games other teams have.
Yeah,
So,
and that's the holdup.
yeah,
Or you really can't win that argument because that counter, that rebuttal there is you can't get over that hurdle if you're on the other side of the argument.
Yeah. Well, we're 8-4. Yeah, well, we're 21-4. Or we're 21-8. What's better? I don't know.
Nobody knows, and that's why they say it. Because nobody knows what's what. Yeah. I'm being told I got an Oak Creek shirt coming.
Hey.
All right. Sweet. Send it on in.
What's your school mascot? Oak Creek.
Are they the Knights?
I don't know.
I think so. I think they're the Knights.
You have a real good handle on.
I like mascots a lot. Yeah, I really like the mascots. 2 live games going on one right now, one at the top of the hour. Softball, it is Marshfield at Wisconsin Rapids. Steve Maves on the call. And at the top of the hour, here, check this out, Dan. It's Spash at Wausau West at Memorial Park in Plover, and we can almost see the ball diamond from here. So Wausau is the home team playing in Plover against the Stevens Point Panthers.
Are they doing a doubleheader, or is it just...
No, they played yesterday, and then everybody's convinced it's going to rain tomorrow, so now they're playing today. But for some reason, Wausau West can't play at their own diamond, and so they're playing in Plover.
Sure.
So if you're in Portage County, go down and take in a baseball game at 5 o'clock. If you're in the Wisconsin Rapids area right now, head on over to Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln, or catch both those games live right here on Zaleski Sports. So hang up with us now, and then go watch those games.
Yeah,
because that's better than what we're going to tell you from here on out.
Honestly, baseball, softball, home and away, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. The same way that golf or basketball, even football, there's uniqueness to some of those.
The baseball purists are going to say, well, our field has these kind of dimensions and angles, and we play better here, and whatever. But inside the lines, it's the same.
Yeah,
it's the same, and it really at the high school level, baseball and softball, it's pitcher catcher.
Yeah,
and that's the same. That's 65 feet, no matter softball a little fewer feet, but. Okay, so that's what's going on there. I don't know, Dan, do you want to talk about some rankings, or should we talk about games that I've seen since we spoke last?
Let's do rankings.
Okay. Rankings it is. We'll start with softball. In Division I, the Kaukauna Galloping Ghosts remain the number 1 team in this fine state. They have been on that one line for the past 3.5 years.
And this is based
they
on
are.
the computer.
This is based on the computer that's in Mike Wendland's head.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so yeah, this is certainly more opinion
all
than anything. Now, Mike though is Mike. He's a very analytical guy,
He really is.
except when it comes to Wapaka.
Well, he does have
Then he
commentative
throws the
classes.
rules out
He
the
does.
window when it comes to the Wapaka Comets.
I hope they're ranked.
They're not, which tells you this is real. This is to be trusted. By the way, this list came out 2 days ago on ZaleskiSports.com. You click VIP, and VIP members for just $5 a month get to see this stuff right away. And there's more in here that I'm talking about, so you get to see that. Oh, and I should also mention that the magazine will be available to VIP members on Tuesday night.
Oh.
So you'll get it a whole day in advance, a digital form, of course. We don't trust the post office, but digitally, VIP members get the entire magazine on Tuesday night.
Look
So a
at
whole
the
day
back.
from everybody else.
The live broadcast schedule.
Schedule's on there. Yeah, you get everything. So being a VIP is where it's at. Okay, Division I, Kaukauna. Number 2, Kenosha Bradford. Number 3 is Stevens Point. Number 4 is Chippewa Falls. Number 5 is Sun Prairie East. Spash and Chippewa Falls seem to be destined for a sectional final.
A lot of
coming up.
undefeated teams in softball.
Yeah. But in that top 5, there's only 3 losses to go around,
Yeah.
and 3 undefeateds. Yep. Division II, kind of some of the same. New London is number 1, and they've been number 1 for quite a while. Mosney number 2, Freedom is 3, Lux Casco is 4, and Lake Mills is 5. The Yellcats.
It
What a
seems
name.
like New London and Mosinee are probably in the same sectional.
They are, and it was a regional final win for New London a year ago over in Mosney. I was there shooting highlights. I remember it well. Division III. Number 1, Broadhead. Number 2, Mishicot. Number 3, Lomira. Number 4, Poynette. And number 5, Mayville. Put a bee in your bonnet on Poynette, if you would, please. We're going to come back to that.
No Wapaka.
No Wapaka, no. Division 4, number 1, Grantsburg. Arr, the Pirates.
Yep.
Do they wear puffy shirts in Grantsburg, do you think?
They should. Now we saw
something.
Grantsburg in person football, didn't we? Edgar Grantsburg, was that a level 4, level 3, level 4 game? I feel like we went to Grantsburg or something.
Must have been 3. It was at Chippewa. Yep.
Yeah, probably that game.
Level 3.
It was cold that night.
It was cold. You were on the field. I was cold too, because the press box, the windows are wide open, right? We need all that view. Number 2, the Fall Creek Crickets. Another great name, Crickets. Just a wonderful
Good
name.
program.
Yeah, very good. Number 3, Boscobel. Number 4, Horicon. Number 5, McDonald Central. So think of that group of girls at McDonald Central that's been there for the last 2 years. Just good at everything.
Good at everything.
Yep. Division 5, Pacelli Cardinals are the number 1 ranked team, defending state champs. Number 2, the Oakfield Oaks. There's another name, the Oaks.
Yep.
Number 3, Wazeeka Steuben. We've been there a couple times.
And they are in the Assumption sectional.
Well, that'll be a tough one for the Royals if the Royals can get that far.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
And Pacelli is in there with Athens and Almond Bancroft.
Yep.
All really good teams this
Yep.
year.
Number 4, the Thorpe Cardinals, or as my late grandfather used to say, Torp.
Torp.
Yep. Number 5, Belmont. So I mentioned Poynette. Poynette,
Yes.
a Division III ranked team, ranked number 4. On Saturday, those Pacelli Cardinals, ranked number 1 in Division 5, beat Poynette at Poynette 1-0. Cardinals are tough. I mean, that's a solid softball team. And Molsky's got it all hooked up down there.
Defending state champions.
Defending state champs, and they just went into a Division III hornet's nest and told Poynette to shove it.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about this.
Okay.
Now, it wouldn't be like the WIA to do anything different, but do you think that the playoffs, in softball or baseball, do you think it's fair that it's a one-game win, go home? Or would you like to see like a best of 3 or something? Even if it's the same day or something. Or like over 2 days, right?
Yeah. I mean, yes is the answer I want to give to you.
Or like a double elimination tournament. Like get 8 teams there
Yeah.
and like play it out like they do in college. 4 teams, I guess.
We just need warmer weather here for that to happen. That's the holdup, right? I think that's a very valid system in a lot of places. We just don't have enough playable days here.
I mean, you run into a hot pitcher, and it doesn't matter how good you are.
Yeah.
You go home.
Yeah. Or like a pitcher I'm going to tell you about, they're just on one that night, and you don't get a second chance, Yeah. I'm with you. I just wish there were more days we could compete in spring softball and baseball.
We've actually been blessed with the weather. It's been a pretty decent spring season.
Yeah.
One of the best spring seasons we've had in a
Are we
long
out of the
time.
woods on snow? It's May Day today.
Yeah.
You think we are?
Yeah.
I sold a house once on May the 6th, and we got 8 inches that day of snow. So I hope we are.
Yeah.
I hope we're out of the woods. We've been out of the woods really all since last
I think it's
winter.
in the 50s every day
Okay.
at least. 50s, 60s, 70s.
Moving to baseball, Division One, number 1 ranked team, Oak Creek, the Knights. That's what I'm going with, and I'm getting a shirt apparently.
All right.
Number 2, Sun Prairie East. Number 3, Spash, the Panthers, coached by Craig Terpstra. And those Panthers, again, live at the top of the hour against Wausau West right here on Zaleski Sports and just around the corner at Memorial Park in Plover. Kimberly is number 4 and Hartford's number 5. I'm going to come back to Spash now just for a minute. The Spash Panthers baseball team is undefeated. The Spash Panthers softball team is undefeated. Dan, they are the only school in the state with both programs undefeated now into May. Amazing.
Is it the teams or the competition?
The teams are pretty talented.
Yeah.
You know, Spash Baseball was at state last year, and they've got as good a team this year, I believe, maybe a tick better. You know, and under the directorship, is that a word?
Yeah.
Under the directorship of Tom Droner for the last 20-ish years, the Spash Panther softball team is always a force. And so just really good internals over there. Big school, a lot of talent to choose from.
Yeah. Not to change the subject at all. We'll come right back
That's fine.
to this.
Yeah, talk about whatever you want to talk about. This is a talking show.
It's true. Continuity is really important.
Yeah.
Obviously, at Spash, a big school like that, if you have to part ways, whether it's by resignation, retirement, whatever, there's a good chance that you're going to get somebody new in there that knows what they're doing. They're not going to have a new coach, just not going to give that job to them.
Yeah.
Right? At the smaller schools, continuity probably even more important, I would say. It just doesn't happen that much, right?
Nope.
And
somebody's mom or dad is often the coach.
yeah. And friend of the show, Cole Walters, no longer at Tri-County.
1 year.
1 year. Yeah. And
it went by so fast.
Yeah, I mean, every administration has reasons. I have no idea what they are. I'm not getting involved in it. Right?
All right.
But, man, if you have somebody who really wants to be there at small schools, I encourage administrations to keep him unless they can.
He was not somebody's dad.
No.
He might have stayed there for 20 years.
He was a teacher. Yeah. Or he is a teacher.
Yeah.
But, like, continuity is really important. And, like, I'm on a soapbox here, right? Because I've lived it and seen it, that a lot of small school politics and parents really, really get in the way of continuity that is extremely important. And there's a lot of the grass is greener on the other side, and it turns out it usually isn't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not saying that parents shouldn't have a role in the program, because they do. Parents are just as important as coaches are, right? But got to be a team. And the schools that are constantly on the top and they're going to state and they are top 5 in the polls, those are the schools that have figured it out.
Yeah, and I think the schools that not only understand and comprehend, but are able to succeed in getting the message across that we are going to be here for a lifetime. You, mom or dad, are only here for a couple of years. And we're not bending to your will because in a year or two, you won't be involved here anymore. And I think the schools that are largely successful have been able to get past that notion that the parents should have some say in it.
Yeah.
Because it's so temporary when the parents are there. I mean, it's not every parent, obviously. It's a couple, but those couple can make it really difficult sometimes.
Sometimes they're the loudest voices in the room, and athletic directors are up against it sometimes, right?
Yep.
But again, these teams that are going to state and they're winning hardware, there's a reason why you see on the TV this guy's in his 18th year coaching. The system's in place, right?
Yeah.
And you can instruct the kids from grade 3, 4, 5, all the way up till high school, all the way through. Same program.
Yeah, and at Stephen's point, and we'll get back to our baseball rankings. Thank you, Dan. That was good information.
Yeah.
And well-timed. And well said. Yeah, that's why we have him here.
Every once in a while.
But at Stephen's point, Craig Terpstra and Tom Droner combined have been the coaches at that school for a lifetime.
Yeah.
And they're successful year after year.
Sure.
So there's a correlation there.
Yep.
Okay, Division II baseball, Pewaukee is number 1. Mosney 2, Waupun 3, St. Thomas More is 4, and somebody else is 5. We got a typo in there. We'll have Mike fix. Division 3, Lake Country Lutheran is 1.
It's not Waupun?
Well, they're just so good they're ranked twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe he meant Wapaka in there, and he put in Waupun.
Probably. Although they're not Division II, I don't think.
Division 3, Lake Country Lutheran is 1. Kiel is number 2. Marathon, number 3 ranked team. Lomira is 4, and Aquinas is 5. Marathon beat Auburndale last night, and a win against Auburndale tomorrow would guarantee the Marathon Red Raiders at least a share of the Marywood South title.
It would. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I stole your minute
Yeah, we'll
material.
talk about it, but we're the Stratford Tigers on here.
Yeah, well, that's a good question. They are not today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Division 4, Bangor is number 1, Ithaca 2, Johnson Creek 3, the Pittsville Panthers number 4, and Blair Taylor is number 5.
Yeah.
Pittsville's undefeated, 13-0.
A lot of undefeated teams in small schools.
Yep.
Baseball, 4 divisions.
Yep.
Softball, 5.
Which is too many
I don't get it.
in softball. Too many. Okay, those are the rankings. Again, VIPs get to see these on Monday. $5 gets you that, plus other secret information. Plus, you also get first access to the weekly Zaleski Sports headlines as a VIP. And it's $5. It's $1.25 a week, and then every now and then you get that odd week in there, and then it's even less. It's nothing to be a VIP. It's next to nothing.
It's like the month where you get 3 paychecks because because 2 months out of the year.
Twice a year.
Yeah.
Yep.
You get 3 paychecks.
Same thing around here, except that's 3 times a year then. You get a little, because it's monthly, even better.
What's going to be in the summer? That's what I'm looking forward to.
Lots of stuff. We've got a whole plan. And because state baseball goes until June 16th, and football equipment handouts last week in July, the summer is shorter than most people think. And we've got lots of stuff. We are, because we really care about what we do, and we like to show the world the hard work that these kids are putting in. That summer affords us time to really go into some detail on conference players of the year,
Nice.
all conference teams, and those kind of things during some of those summer months. Plus, we've got summer all-star baseball, softball. We got all kinds of stuff, Dan.
I feel like I can say somewhat authoritatively because I'm in arm's reach length away from you guys.
Yeah.
Right?
It's where we like you.
Yeah, exactly. Everything that Zaleski Sports does is quality,
Thank you.
right? From presentation to the people. I mean, you're going to see it oozes in this.
Yeah. Well, I won't let it come out any other way. And what most people don't know is I tear this place up almost every day to get the best quality possible. And everybody else here cares about it too. So I'm just able to sometimes see it in a little bit different light to help them out. Okay, let's see here. So as I mentioned, right now, Marshfield, Wisconsin Rapids, Lincoln softball live. Steve Maves on the call. And in 25 minutes time, it'll be first pitch at Memorial Park right down the road in Plover as Wausau West takes on Spash. That is game 2 of their season series. Game 1 happened yesterday. Stevens Point won that. Again, they remain undefeated. The game I was at yesterday, Dan, we had, I think, 12 or 13 games live yesterday. One of the two.
I watched a couple.
The game I was at was Edgar Stratford baseball. Of course, they're rivals during the football season. That's the most popular rivalry.
They're rivals in every sport.
But they are rivals in every sport. And I talked about that on the game last night. And fast forward to the finish, Brady Schmidt, the starting pitcher for the Stratford Tigers, 11 strikeouts.
That's a lot.
In that game. They only get 21 outs.
Yeah.
So 11 of the 21 came from this action right here. And he was dealing. He was on one yesterday. I interviewed he and the leadoff hitter, Jack Tubbs, after the game. And I asked Jack a question first, asked him about being a leadoff hitter and the pride he puts into that and getting on base and scoring, the jobs of a leadoff hitter. And then my question for Brady right after was about the 11 strikeouts. And Jack Tubbs, you can hear it on the highlight and in the game. I said that and he goes, "Jeez." And Brady didn't know either his number, but Jack thought that was a ridiculous number.
Yeah.
I mean, good for his team, but it was quite a performance from Brady last night with the 11 strikeouts. 3-1 final. Edgar did challenge Stratford in that 7th inning. They really had moments, Edgar did, throughout, but you strike out 11 times, and a lot of those moments come to an end when you're striking out that much. But Edgar scored 1 in the 3rd. They had a base runner on. My favorite high school baseball player in the area, Henry Zaleski, came on and shut it down. But he gave up. Yeah, well, he's on the family tree. He is. He's on the family tree somewhere. But he came in, slammed the door in the 7th inning, and Stratford with the win. I'd mentioned
That's a big win.
It's a huge win for the Stratford Tigers. I'd mentioned if Marathon beats Auburndale tomorrow, they will clinch at least a share. And if Stratford beats Edgar tomorrow, the only team that can catch Marathon then is Stratford. They split during the regular season. But Stratford would then need to beat Assumption both times next week. Assumption hasn't found the win column yet. So those two, pending the Edgar outcome tomorrow, which, I mean, Edgar can beat Stratford. There's nothing
Obviously,
to say they can't.
Yesterday.
Yeah. But should that go Stratford's way tomorrow, we can pretty firmly see a split in the Merriwood South. And then they will split ways until they meet up in the playoffs at some point, perhaps, probably. And you asked about the rankings. I think, I don't do them, Mike does, but I'd say there's a very reasonable chance if Stratford sweeps Edgar that they climb into that ranking next week with us.
No, it doesn't matter what the sport is. Stratford, Marathon, Edgar, they're there.
Mm-hmm.
And Auburndale as well.
Yeah.
And it's not one of these things where there's one school that's always like 3 games ahead. Like, no, it is a dogfight in the top half of the conference.
Yeah, they're all nipping at each other the whole way through.
And those kids know each other.
Yeah.
They know the opponents because they see them in football, basketball, baseball.
Yep. Yeah.
And then probably at the Y.
Yeah, at the Y and in the farm field, at the store, at the dance. You know, they're dating each other from kids from each other's school, and
because it's so cool to date a girl from a different school.
Well, you're something if you've been able to accomplish that, right? That's a pretty big mission.
Well, see, that's why you're the big man on campus. Is you're dating somebody from a different school, and their friend group is interacting with your friend group, and all of a sudden you're really popular with everyone.
Do you think that happens more now because they're able to see each other on Instagram and TikTok, or is it always kind of been like this? Do you think?
I think that kids at different schools are much more connected because of Snapchat.
For that reason, more than we were when we were in high school.
Yes, when we were.
I knew some kids from other schools, but not many.
Yeah, when we were coaching at Newman basketball, we knew what was going on with almost every player in the conference because they're all in the same Snapchat group together, talking about each other. Nice. Yeah. Nice. And not in positive ways all the time.
Not all the time. Not all the time. Yeah, for whatever reason, I went to Marshfield High School, senior high. Obviously, I knew kids from Columbus. That's a given because we all played in the same city leagues together and rode bike together around town and all that kind of jazz. So of course we would know kids from Spencer and Stratford because they weren't that far, and their mom or dad worked in Marshfield and went to the same daycare with me or something or whatever it might have been. But for whatever reason, my friend group seemed to know a disproportionate number of kids from Wisconsin Rapids. No idea why. Just kind of the way it all worked out. We didn't know anybody from Pittsville, which is between Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids. So we drove through Pittsville to go to Wisconsin Rapids, but we knew some of the kids there.
I was in Minocqua. We were far from everybody.
You were.
Right, it's a half an hour to the nearest school.
Yeah, and 15 minutes to the nearest house.
I mean, it was a long-distance phone call to a different school back then.
You had to dial 1.
Yeah, you had to dial 1. It was like 25 cents for the first minute.
You had to wait till after 8 o'clock to get the better minutes.
It's true. Yeah. I get in trouble for calling classmates.
I know. I was there with you, man. Okay, so that's pretty good. I don't think I'm missing anything here. So let's move to the schedule for the rest. Oh no, I one more thing. From last night, Eau Claire Memorial baseball team with a walk-off win against Rice Lake. So that game is on YouTube. People get thrown about this for some reason, and they can't find a game. So YouTube is the world's second largest search engine.
Yes.
Next to Google, and of course Alphabet Incorporated owns all of it.
I think a top 5 company. One is one that we can't mention on this show.
Okay, so you go to YouTube and you type in Eau Claire Memorial Rice Lake baseball, and poof, it just shows up, right? So watch walk off. I already told you who won, but it's a fun walk off. Yeah,
for games that are in the past, that's great. For games tonight, go to the website.
Yeah, always.
You can click the little arrow.
Yeah, and you can go to, that's the other thing you can do, which maybe is for some a better idea. You go to ZaleskiSports.com, you click on your favorite school, and then you look at their schedule, and there's launch arrows next to each game. You just hit that arrow, and then it opens up that game too. So either way works. Maybe it's better if it's on the website. I don't know.
Yeah, YouTube, especially when you have several years now, because we've been doing this for a while.
That's true.
I was looking for a Marathon Stratford game from like 2021 or something, and I'm like, I don't know. There's like
All right.
40 games in
So I take back what I said. The best way to watch a game, to watch the Eau Claire Memorial game is go to ZaleskiSports.com. You click Eau Claire Memorial, and then you find that game in the schedule against Rice Lake. You click that button right next to the game. It's right there, and it just launches the game.
However you get there, get there.
All right.
Yeah.
So games coming up then for the rest of the week. This is starting on Thursday, and this is a lot. So buckle in.
There's so many
And
games.
I would also understand if you need to go get a drink right now and you come back and I'll still be listing off games. So Dan's going to take a drink. Okay. Let's see if I can organize these a little bit here. Let's start with baseball. Chippewa Falls at Eau Claire North. Bob Radovich on the call. Pacelli at Tri-County. Father Bierencott is on the call. That's what we call him around here. Brandon
Nice.
Bierencott. He's the dad.
Yeah.
Bonduel at Amherst. Jack Rozicki on the call. Tomahawk at Mosney. Jack Weber on the call. Auburndale at Marathon. Talked about that game. That's a big one for the Red Raiders, should they want to at least guarantee a split of the conference title. Chuck Wolfel on the call. Columbus Catholic at Gilman Baseball. I am on the call, assuming I am allowed to go to Gilman. I'm still waiting to hear back from the athletic director if they will provide me a table and a chair to sit at. That's all I ask for.
It seems
Yeah,
minimum.
I don't know, but for some reason they haven't answered me yet. Softball tomorrow. This is for Thursday. Clintonville at Wapaka. Of course, Mike is on the call for that one. His Wapaka Comets on the softball diamond. Tri-County at Pacelli. Brendan Retzloff is on the call. And Spencer at Columbus Catholic. Joe Anderson. That's a doubleheader, softball. And then girls soccer at DC Everest at Wisconsin Rapids with Chris Conley on the call. That's Thursday. That's a lot. Just one day.
So, question for you.
Yep. All right.
Obviously, lots of popular people at these schools. But,
Popular in what way?
well, I mean, kids, athletes, right?
Oh, okay. That'd be like a teacher or something. All right.
They're teachers, too.
Okay.
But Steve over at Assumption and Mike over at Wapaka,
Yeah.
they are climbing that ladder of, like, influential people in those athletic programs.
Well, they just get stuff. They just get stuff.
They
at,
do.
at this point. You know, they are revered. Yeah.
I couldn't even get free popcorn at Marathon last year.
Well, you know, they're
I would have to do it for several years.
yeah. Okay. Friday. I've got some things to say, and I'm not going to. Friday. Let's start with softball this time. How's that sound? Mosney at Marshfield. Jack Weber on the call.
It's a good game.
Yeah, sure. It sure is. Mosney undefeated, playing Division I Marshfield. So it's an interesting game for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Columbus Catholic is at Abbotsford Colby. We got Caden over there for that one. Chippewa Falls at DC Everest. That's a doubleheader. Chris Conley on the call there. Roshold at Pacelli and Cardinals. Voice of the Pacelli softball Cardinals, Brendan Retzloff, again on the call on Friday. Baseball action, New Richmond at Altoona. Bob Radovich and Dave Sparger, too. I forgot Dave. Dave Sparger helps out Bob. Does a great job. Let's see here. Abby Colby at Marathon. Chuck Wolfel. Chuck's back in action on Friday as well. Columbus Catholic is at Loyal. I will be in the football press box in center field. That's where I conduct the broadcast over at Loyal. It's a whole unique look out in center field looking in.
Yeah.
Auburndale at Pittsville. I mentioned the game under the lights. Now that's the first. The lights will get flicked on at 7 o'clock. And Mike Wendlandt and Steve Maves over there.
That's exciting.
It is fun, you know. They're going to have a great time, and I'm
Remember
really
when Wrigley got lights for the first time?
yeah.
And it got rained out. So the next night was the first official night.
Well, see what happens in Pittsville on Friday. Roshold at Pacelli, Father Bierencott on the call, and Franklin Oak Creek, Matt Peck on the call there. I think Matt and Eli, team up for that one.
Carthage
and
College?
Franklin Oak Creek, is that what it says? Oh, that's on Saturday. You're skipping ahead, Ross. Hang on here. Slow down.
There are 4 different colors on this sheet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what's
I'm not sure of why either, but here we are. Saturday. Get your Saturday cereal and watch Bugs Bunny. I don't even know if they show Bugs Bunny anymore. I think you got to look it up somewhere else.
I don't think Bugs Bunny would be accepted today, unfortunately.
I accept Bugs Bunny.
Well, I do too.
Okay.
But
Saturday.
just in general, right?
Saturday morning, 10 a.m., Chippewa Falls at Marshfield. That's baseball. Ben Brecht is on the call there. Chippewa Falls Marshfield soccer at 11. I got Ruth over there taking care of that game.
Hey.
Yep. Columbus Catholic is at Auburndale. That's me at 11 o'clock. That game was scheduled for Monday, but it was rain. I actually went to the Diamond at Auburndale on Monday on my way here, and there were just puddles everywhere. And so that game didn't happen. But it will not happen on Saturday. So that's kind of a fun one. And then 11:30, Elkhorn and Kenosha St. Joe's. And again, Matt and Eli are going to show that to you from Carthage College.
Carthage College.
There you go. It's an interesting venue there.
We have talked about this at times, and probably not on this show, but maybe just talking. I think a really great job would be just taking care of athletic fields. Like a retirement
Just
job.
a groundskeeper, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like trimming it exactly, the lines
Would you
are
do multiples
crisp.
or just one?
I'd do them all.
Just do them all.
Like the football field would have a huge logo in the middle. Those baseball fields would be just absolutely perfect. I would love it.
Grass at 2 1/4 inches all the way around?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it depends what kind of team you are.
Right.
Like if
are you a
you're
bunting team or are you
a bunting team?
yeah.
That thing's like 5 inches tall. You get lost in it.
But if you got a bunch of ground ball hitters, you cut it real short.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I like it. All right. With things that we like around here, we turn now to Dan Ross for today's Merriwood Minute, sponsored by Mid-State Technical College. And I know he's got a good one whipped up. And then, are you going to have a column in the magazine?
I can.
Yeah, well, I think you should. I know we mentioned it to you before, but again, Zaleski Sports Headlines. This is a free weekly magazine located generally throughout Wood County for the time being. If you want your schools to be part of that magazine, get a hold of us on the website. Click Contact Us. Okay, Dan, Merriwood Minute.
Yeah. Jason, back in the new studio.
What's up, brother?
Time for a new Merriwood Minute.
Okay.
The weather outside is heating up,
Oh, okay.
as is the Merriwood Conference softball league. We talked last week about Stratford needing a win over Auburndale
Okay.
to stay in the conference race.
Yep.
Mission accomplished.
Mission was accomplished.
Yeah.
What a game there.
But not so fast, says Lee Corso.
Not so fast, my friend.
The Edgar Wildcats spoiled the day yesterday, I think. that
Yeah,
was, right?
I mean, good for the Wildcats.
Yeah.
I just the score was not what I expected to see come in.
1-0.
1-0.
1-0.
Yeah, and any score with Edgar winning was not what I expected to come in. So good for the Wildcats. And,
Yeah, that's the thing. The conference is deep, right?
Must be.
Yeah. Yeah, so 1-0 loss. Assumption keeps winning, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Assumption and Stratford still have 2 left.
Yeah.
Auburndale is a
Yep.
big Stratford fan.
Yeah.
Stratford, obviously, if they sweep Assumption, then it gets really muddy quick.
Could have 3 conference champions or some craziness.
But Assumption has to beat Stratford once to at least tie. That's what it's going to come down to.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. In the north, Merriwood North, Athens' magic number is 1.
Wow, that came fast.
Yeah, and they've swept the second place team, so they're really conference champs already.
Okay.
But I wanted to say
Formalities
magic
and such.
number. Right.
Yeah.
We were talking about games behind the lost column last week and how that's a baseball thing. Magic number is baseball.
I love it. Yep.
Yeah.
Love it. And in the big leagues, you start talking magic number in August,
Yeah,
and then it goes on for 2 months.
it's true.
Magic number.
We're only 1 week away from seeding meetings. Expect Assumption Athens to be ranked rather high in Division 5.
Yep.
Perhaps even top seeds, although Athens has to get through Pacelli and Almond Bancroft. That's going to be tough. Mm-hmm. And Assumption has to get past Wazika Steuben and probably a sectional final.
I wouldn't bet against Pacelli.
No,
Yep.
probably not.
Yeah, but Assumption will have their hands full in that group too.
And that's the thing, is you place, how many softballs, 6 innings? 7.
7.
7?
7 innings. Yeah.
You get 7 innings, and anything can happen in 7 innings. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Even in those 1-8 games, or...
Yeah, I mean, you walk somebody, and then somebody slaps
pass
somebody
ball or
slaps one, and
something.
then there's a pass ball and a run scored.
Yeah.
It's like, where did that come from?
Then you lose 1-0.
And then you lose 1-0. Maybe that's what happened with Edgar. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I wasn't there.
Baseball, Marathon's magic number is 2.
Okay. Yep. Zeroing in.
Yep. They're 6-1. I call it 8-1. Newman canceled their season due to numbers, but I just gave them wins.
Yep.
They would be wins.
Probably.
So 1 loss. Stratford also has 1 loss. Marathon plays Auburndale to clinch at least a share of the conference title tomorrow.
Live tomorrow. Chuck Wolfel on the call.
Yeah, Stratford's 3 games are against Edgar and 2 against winless Assumption. We talked about that.
Yep.
If if Stratford wins tomorrow, real good chance that they're going to have a cake and split it.
Split this. Everybody goes out for ice cream.
It's true. Conference dinger count. We talked about this in baseball, right?
Okay.
It was 2 last week.
Okay.
We're up to 5.
Wow, a big week.
5 home runs.
Big week.
In the Marywood this year.
Yeah. Yeah, and 3 in the last week.
3 in
That's
the
a
last
big week.
Yeah.
All right.
In the North, Abbotsford Colby. What do they go by?
Well, I think they're the Falcons there.
The Falcons.
Falcons, and then the softball goes Colby Abbey Hornets. So that's how they differentiate, or how they've settled on it. I believe.
That's fair.
I believe.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Both Abbotsford Colby and Rib Lake both have 1 loss. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is pretty far back. Mm-hmm. Abbotsford Colby, 2 against Phillips. Rib Lake has 1 against Phillips, and Schwamigan, they're going to split it down the middle also.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
On a collision course for, you take your medal and you got to somehow break it in half.
Well, that's what happens is you play twice and you split. So, you can't really give it to anybody.
Yeah. Run differential.
Yeah.
But they won't do that in the high school conferences. Yeah, that's too bad.
Plus, there's a 10-run rule, right? So.
Or you could be limited, right? Yeah, you could be.
Unless you score a whole bunch like the first inning.
Yeah. But to your point, right, if you beat, if you got a couple 10-run rules, but the other team is beating everybody consistently by 9.
Yeah.
Yep, it's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, we got the update. Sorry. Is it Macy Yonker? For Edgar. Yonker hit a solo home run in the bottom of the 6th for Edgar to beat Stratford.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Remind your coach to send us in stats.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, though, Jeremy. Thanks
you know what?
for
That
telling
would be
us that.
Maybe that's in this next week.
Maybe.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. We'll see. Stratford's got a page in there. We try to keep it to wins.
Yeah.
So it would be a lot. We would be publishing the loss. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, but it's also sports, and sometimes you lose.
Yeah. So Marywood South dinger count is 5 in the North with less teams, 8.
Oh, really?
8 dingers in the conference this year.
Shorter fences, maybe.
Move those fences in. Like I go to a baseball game. There's nothing more exciting than a home run. People are like, "Oh, triples. That's where it's at." No, man.
No.
Ball over the fence.
No. Tom Glavine and Mike Maddox both said, or Greg Maddox, sorry. Mike's the dad, right? Chicks dig the long ball.
Yeah, they do.
Proven.
I'm not a chick.
And the girls that hit them dig it too. I mean, chicks dig the long ball.
Yeah. Softball probably has a whole bunch of home runs this year. More than baseball.
Yeah. Well, we had 1 for sure last night in Edgar.
Yeah. All right. Assumption Soccer improves to 5-1.
Okay.
In the Midwestern Wisconsin Conference.
Yeah. Not seen anywhere else on the sports landscape of Wisconsin.
No.
See, it's the one time it appears in the standings all year long.
Second place behind Regis.
Okay.
And Assumption has Regis coming up next week, I believe.
I think they call them Mick Regis. That's a co-op.
Mick
They call
Regis.
it Mick Regis. McDonald and Regis.
Yeah, I think you're right. Sarah Shaw, 27 goals.
Wow.
And 10 goals last week.
Wow, in 1 week.
Yeah.
So like 2 or 3 games.
She had 6 and like 2 assists. I saw this. I saw this on Zaleski Sports.
Well, I believe that. But so when you you have a double hat trick, do you have to go find another hat and throw it out there? How does that work?
I'm not sure.
Or do you take your first hat back and you throw a bigger hat?
Like a sombrero.
Yeah.
The sombrero is 4, right? That like 4 strikeouts.
The urban sombrero, you throw that out there. Or a 40-gallon cowboy hat. All right.
So she had 6 goals against the co-op of Melrose, Mindoro, Gale, Ettrick, Trempolo.
Well, the problem there is there's too many schools involved. And nobody knows what position I'm supposed to be playing.
It's literally
I don't even know these kids.
It's literally like 100 square miles.
Yeah. I don't even know those kids. I don't know their name. So when they're out of position, I can't shout at them because I don't know their name to get their attention.
Yeah.
Okay. Good for Sarah. Way to go.
Sarah is a senior this year, going out with a bang.
I would say.
Speaking of going with a bang, that's
Boom.
the Marywood Minute.
That's the Marywood Minute.
Yeah.
So, do you know about this trend? What's up, brother? Do you know about this?
No.
Special teams, special plays, special players. You don't know about this? Yeah, you gotta look it up when you get home.
Okay.
Look it up. A lot of kids out there know this. I'm forgetting Scratch or Screech or something like that is the guy's name. He's some sort of a social media star now. Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Just go home and just you look on the great googly moogly and just type in what's up, brother, and you'll see this thing. It's sweeping the nation.
I try my best to keep up with the youth and
The youths?
and the movement and the language.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's a language, all right.
and the whole cap no cap thing.
Yeah, I don't. That one's not
Like-
for me either.
Like I've been telling people, like no cap, and they're like, what does that mean? I'm like, cap's like lie, so like no cap means like
Yeah.
no lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for those that are not youths watching this,
The youths.
we sound so old right now.
We do. We do
Yeah.
sound old, and yeah. What's up, brother?
Yeah, we're talking about the youths. We're talking about newspapers. Like it's,
What's happened to us?
I don't know.
All right, Dan. Well, our hour has come.
Perfect.
Has come, and we're almost right on the dot every time. I'm telling you, like I don't know, maybe Al Jazeera, but somebody's going to pick the show up and take it worldwide. It would be
With
Al
better
Jazeera.
people. With better
Well, yeah, of course. It was like when there's some debate about it, I suppose. But The Office was an English TV show, but when we got to America, it went worldwide. So you take it over somewhere else, you change the entire cast, you keep the format,
Yeah.
and then off it goes. But what do you think about that? Working for Al Jazeera,
They
that
are.
would be something, or the BBC,
Yeah, both are huge corporations.
worldwide. Worldwide. A lot of people don't know that in this country, but most of our news outlets pretty much are just within our borders.
Yeah. Al Jazeera is legit good.
Yeah. There you go.
No bias.
Okay, Jason Zaleski, Dan Ross, just one last time here. Zaleski Sports Headlines, weekly magazine, available starting next week, 1 week from now, almost to the minute. You will find this at retail locations throughout Marshfield and surrounding areas, Neillsville, Greenwood, Loyal, Stratford, Spencer, Auburndale, Hewitt. It's free. You go down, you pick it up. We'll have a whole list. Dan's going to take it up. Go ahead, Dan. Show them what they can get.
Ooh, look at this.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
For that full list of retail locations, we will start advertising that on social media on Monday. But very much looking forward to it. And there's a track and field athlete on the front cover, and we look forward to celebrating all the sports because some of these we can't show live. So now we get to tell the world about all of them.
I know you've tried to show track and field live.
Done it a couple times.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's 6 hours and it's madness, and I don't know who wins. By the time we leave, I still don't know who won the 100 meter.
Because it takes like an hour to calculate.
Well, it was like 5 or 6 heats, but they don't do a finals heat. They just run once, and then later on they figure out who had the best time, and they don't ever tell me. All right, that'll do it. Dan, wave goodbye.
Bye.
Have a great night.